Special thank you to our sponsors of Russ Reels Live, Kicking Cancer, Schmitza Public House in Lebanon, Oregon, and the Chrysler Club. Kicking Cancer, empowering individuals to thrive in their cancer journey through support and education. For more information, go to kicking-cancer.org. And for more information about Schmitza Public House and their amazing food in Lebanon, Oregon, go to schmitzapublichouse.com. And the Chrysler Club, smoother systems at your service. For more information, go to thechrysler.club. Ta-da! Hey everybody, welcome to Russ Reels Live here on this Thursday afternoon, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, or Pacific Daylight Time, actually. We are now in Daylight Savings Time, and it's great, longer days, love it. And I don't know what time it is where you are, because I know we have people all over the world, but thank you for joining us today on Russ Reels Live. We have a great topic today, daily health and cancer, how it affects your life and health and all of that. And I think this is really a big topic today as we talk about self-care, as we talk about the things we can and should be doing and helping ourselves out to have a better life. So we're going to dive into that. But first, I am so glad you're here. This is Russ Reels Live, like I said, and we are here every Thursday, 4 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. And also, we convert this after we are here. First, it sits on all the platforms, LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube for infinity and beyond. That's right. It's always there after we're done. So you can watch this on replay, still share it with your friends, still comment. And we highly, highly encourage you to engage today. Join in the fun and let us know you're here. Let us know where you're actually watching from today. Love to hear that. Also, it converts to audio podcast. So if you don't get a chance to watch or don't have time to watch, you can listen in your car or whatever your favorite podcast listening area might be. Put in those AirPods and off you go on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, whatever. It's all there. So thank you so much for joining us. You know, I am all about building connection and community. And that's really my purpose in life. My purpose is to inspire and encourage you to live a purpose-driven life of significance, being a world changer, a difference maker, connecting and building community and doing amazing, amazing things. So that's what I'm all about. And I love to connect with you. So today, I would love it if you would connect with me. And I make it real simple. Just go to russhedge.com. That's right. russhedge.com is a place to go. It's easy. It's a one-stop shop. You have all the stuff there. You don't even have to really shop. You just show up and you learn, and it's free. Plus, there's a free download, How to Transform Your Business in 3 Simple Steps, which, by the way, is about connection and community building. And it is a free thing that I would love for you to download and then follow up with me, because not only can you connect on any of my social medias, email, phone number, you can even schedule time directly on my calendar to Zoom with me. And I would love to do that. I'd love to do a follow-up to my free download PDF that you can get, and we can talk about that. If you need marketing coaching, if you need business development help, if you would love podcasting and live streaming, you want to know more about that, I do just a little bit of that, and I'd love to help you out there. Also, we produce live streams, so we can actually do a done-for-you package, including all the advertising and all the things that go with it. So I'd love to help you with that as well. So really a lot there you can learn about, but really mostly I just want you to connect with me. I want to learn more about you. And then if you have questions, you can ask me. And you know what? That's totally free, because I love people and I would love to connect with you today. So russhedge.com is a place to go. Also, if you would be so kind as to join our YouTube community, that would be amazing. And all you got to do, I keep it simple again, russreels.live. That's all you do. russreels.live will take you to my YouTube page. You can hit subscribe. In fact, you could open another window right now. Don't turn this off. Just open another window. Click subscribe on that after you type in russreels.live. You'll be all done. And what does that do for you? Well, let me tell you. It gives you quick access to all the amazing live streams and friends that I have that have blessed me and you with the value they bring and their time. And not only Russ Reels Live, but Marketing with Russ and even the Experience Live with Russ and Scott. Like I said, I just do a little bit of live streaming. So you catch all that stuff. I've got amazing friends. I've lost track because I didn't really count on Russ Reels Live, how many episodes I've done. Coming up on 400 episodes on Marketing with Russ this month. And the Experience Live with Russ and Scott just celebrated 150 episodes. So it has just been an amazing ride and no stopping now. Scott and I just added a new live stream, so we got even more going on. But I am here to be a blessing to you today. So thanks for that. And again, I want to remind you, please, in the comments, let us know where you're watching from. Even if you're watching on replay, put a hashtag team replay. Let us know where you're watching from. Tag your friends, okay? Because you're going to say, listen, I'm really all about this self care stuff and daily health. And, I'm worried about cancer or I've had cancer. How does this affect me? Well, I can tell you, going through the cancer battle, the last, it's almost going on 2 years, but about a little over a year and a half, I've experienced so many things firsthand. And the people on today have either experienced it or are supporting it. And I want to tell you, this is going to be an amazing, amazing discussion. So, one last thing I told you, please share and tag your friends. Let them know what's going on. And I'll have all this ticking below. So my contact information and the russreels.live information for you during the show. So with that, we're going to get rolling and get people in the house and get started. So I'm going to start with the newbie. We're going to bring Dani in first, and she is doing some amazing things. And I am taking advantage of one of those things that she's doing. But I digress. I'm going to let her come in and introduce herself. Dani Warren, how's it going?
Hey, Russ, it's going great. It's beautiful here in the Northwest and the sun is shining. Doesn't get better than that.
Oh, I tell you, I am with you. I'm with you. We still have that chill in the air. And this morning, I was at a networking meeting. I started in the shade, and there was a teeny bit of wind, and it was chilly. And so it was outside this event. So, but the other side was beaming with sunshine. So I went across the group of people to the sunny side. Ta-da! I felt so much better. It was so great. Yeah, it's been beautiful, just beautiful. So, hey, Dani, listen, let's start off with this. We'll start off with the basics. So, I know all the amazing things you're doing, but give everybody a little snapshot. Who is Dani Warren? What are you up to? What are you all about?
So, first and foremost, I'm a mom and a grandma, and my family is super important to me, and it's actually a big reason why I am so incredibly passionate about helping people get simple tools to live a healthier life. And that all started with my husband, James Warren Jr. He passed away from cancer in 2017, the day after, or 2016, the day after Thanksgiving. And it was during his cancer battle that I actually began to research to find out what causes cancer, what can be done to help a body heal from it, and how can we go about trying to prevent it. I had other family members that were suffering from chronic diseases, and I needed the answers. And when I researched, what I found was that the more fruits and vegetables, the more plants that we put into our bodies daily, the less likely we are to die, not just from cancer, but from any disease. And that set me on this current quest. I was introduced to a company called Juice Plus. Juice Plus has been in business for over 50 years. They are the pioneers of functional plant powders. And like you were talking earlier today, they grind the entire plant at the peak of ripeness and then they extract the water at low temperatures. It leaves the live nutrients, these beautiful plant powders that go into capsules and chewables, and it doesn't get any easier than that. It's a way for us to bridge the gap between what we are eating and what we really need every day just to maintain health. And we need more when we're suffering from something like cancer or a diagnosed chronic disease. So, we're all busy. we're all busy. I don't know about you. I tried juicing, and that's awesome, but it's time consuming. It's messy. It's expensive. When I found this is a fraction of the cost and way better. And so every day I'm able to take a handful of capsules that give me 30 fruits, veggies, and berries in my body. We have some other tools to help us get more plants. You'll see behind me, I have a tower garden. I am growing year round in my office indoors. So I have fresh greens. So I'm just all about making it simple and coming alongside people to give them more education and information about how they can give themselves the best chance at living a healthy life.
Well, see, I love that. First of all, my first thought is, you know, it's almost like God had a good idea what he was doing when he created things because he put everything here that we need. And what is amazing to me is I am simple minded. So first of all, I enlist people like you who know a lot more than me that can tell me things because it's hard for me to get through all the materials. And I do like to read, but reading a whole bunch of data really it kind of is a good way to put me to sleep at night. So even though there are things I want to know, so I read what I need to, but I really tap into resources like you. And you'll say to me, "Hey, have you read about this?" And then you tell me the synopsis of it. That's really what I need right there. It's just the synopsis, which is great. And I want to make it simple. And I'm juice capsules, and it's amazing. And so we're going to talk more about that, but I'm going to get things rolling. We're going to get Tim Sohn in the room, Mr. Perspectives on Cancer himself. How's it going, Tim?
I'm doing great. How are you, Russ? And hi, Dani.
Hey, Sam.
I am so good. It seems like we just talked. Oh, that's because we did. So for those who don't know, and probably nobody watching knows that Tim and I were recording with Baron, who will be on next for the radio here just before the show today. So we did an entire radio broadcast show before this. And so, anyway, Tim, so great to have you here. You know what? I think everybody knows about Perspectives on Cancer and Tim Sohn, but for the one person that doesn't, give everybody a rundown. Who is Tim Sohn? What are you up to? What is this Perspectives on Cancer thing?
Thank you so much for having me, Russ. I am Tim Sohn, like Russ said. I'm a husband, I'm a dad, I'm a son, I'm a brother. I'm a cancer survivor, 17 years chronic myeloid leukemia. I host a weekly live stream show called Showing Up Perspectives on Cancer, which Russ has been a multiple time guest on that show. Russ also produced the in-person event, the Showing Up in-person event show that was live streamed as well. Shannon Lee Sin, who's in the comments, who is in the air watching this show. Now, if that's not dedication, I don't know what is. So thanks for being here, Shannon. And Russ is also Russ, I'm being your promoter tonight. Russ is an author in the very soon upcoming Perspectives on Cancer, Stories of Healing, Hope, and Resilience. The book is coming out March 25th, the paperback version, and shortly thereafter, the ebook version. And I'm all about letting people know that they are not alone, cancer patients, survivors, supporters, and to encourage them to share their stories when they are ready to do so. Thanks, Russ.
Well, and I love that. I think that sharing and supporting each other makes it so much easier. I'm not easy, but I mean, it makes it so much better when you have people come around you. And that's the same thing with how we take care of ourselves. As we come together, we learn so many things. That's how I met Dani. That's how I met Baron, who is our next guest that's coming on, Mr. Baron Robison. Here he is. Whoop, whoop. Hey, Baron.
Hello, Russ.
Seems like I just saw you too as you were interviewing me.
I got my Russ
on the
Rock
radio.
shirt on. I got my Russ Rock shirt.
There we go. That's it. So, Mr. Hashtag Baron Rocks, give us a little insight. Who is Baron and what is this kicking cancer thing?
So I'm the co-founder and executive director of Kicking Cancer. We were unofficially formed 6 years ago, and then we launched January 2019. And we're just an organization. We're really dedicated to empowering people to thrive through that cancer journey with knowledge and support. And I guess just so perfect with the two people you have here because Dani brings the knowledge and Tim brings the support. So there you go, wrapping it all together there, Tim.
That's a good one. Yes, for sure. Give me a little bit more information because you and I met way back at the beginning of Kicking Cancer. And you started that
Yeah,
because of your sister. Give us a little more insight on that.
yes. My sister had been diagnosed with breast cancer in 2015. By 2017, the numbers were looking a lot better. It was metastatic breast cancer, and in early 2018, just as a way to show support for her, we had a bunch of people that I worked with. We had 42 people don some really bright pink shirts. So we went to outside of Canby, Oregon, and we did this 3 mile trail run with some obstacles. And not too long after, I just said, you know what she was doing with just her lifestyle. Like Dani was saying, she was juicing, but she was getting all of those processed foods out of her life and getting just real food into her life, and then exercising to keep her body healthy. And I said, let's just share that. Let's create an organization where we can share that information with people, and let's just find some other people we can support along the way. And one of those people wound up being the memory of Dani's husband, James, who had been a friend of mine for years. And then early on in 2019, after we launched the organization, I had gone to a networking event, and then I ran into you, Russ, and I don't know if I've stuck with you or you're stuck with me, one or the other, but we've been together now for several years.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know either, but we stuck together and that's what counts. And, I appreciated all that you're doing and all that you're about. Our last guest is not here yet, so we're going to keep rolling with the discussion. And Dani, I want to bounce back to you because you do have a lot of great knowledge about this vitally important thing called fruits and vegetables and natural things that are already here on this earth. And I think one of the biggest things that people need to remember is it all starts with just eating healthy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Eating healthy is always better for all of us. And when we eat more fruits and vegetables, like my beautiful wife always says, a colorful plate. We need a colorful plate and have lots of good nutritional things on. She's always making sure I have my greens and other things on and not just having a main dish. And you got to have the right mix of foods. Talk a little bit to that because I think things start with that because then that develops into what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, let's start with this. Less than 10% of the American population is consuming enough fruits and vegetables every day, let alone getting the wide variety that we need. So, all the different colors of the rainbow do different things in our bodies. And especially in this toxic world that we live in, we're consuming toxins in our food, but we're also absorbing them in our skin products and our cleaning products and in the environment. And did you know that fruits and vegetables are little cleaners in our bodies and they actually help to detox the body? But all those different colors do different things. And so it's very important not only that we're getting the right amount of fruits and vegetables in our bodies every day, but that we're getting, like your wife says, the whole rainbow of colors, a wide variety of fruits and vegetables. And I don't know about you, I work pretty hard at it, but I can't consistently get 7 to 13 fist-sized servings of raw fruits and veggies in my body every single day. And so that's where these functional plant powders come in. And so, as I mentioned earlier, the thing is, we have to make it simple for people and come alongside people exactly where they are, right?
Right.
It doesn't matter if you're doing keto or you're doing some other diet or you're an athlete who's looking to perform better, or you've got a chronic health condition like cancer, doesn't matter where you are on that health spectrum, we all can benefit from getting more plants and specifically fruits and vegetables in our bodies every day. Fruits and vegetables are the foundation of good health.
Yeah, no, they are completely. And, I've learned, a lot of times we have to do things like you do, Dani, and actually supplement because we're not able to get enough of those things. A lot of it's just because maybe we just don't have enough of what we need in the refrigerator or, for the dinner table. And, I mean, that's just life. So I think things like this and other supplements of natural things are a huge benefit. And Tim, you've interviewed so many people on perspectives on cancer and dealt with so many that are dealing with things. And I know that our friend Mark Kagiyama is one of them, and other people that have really been huge on what they digest and things they do. I should have had my friend Faye Demire on the show too, because she's really good on this topic as well. And Tim, I should connect the two of you, by the way, if you're not connected. But
That'd
tell
be
us
great.
more about what you've learned through all your connections when it comes to just taking care of yourself.
Yeah, I mean, there's taking care of yourself physically, there's taking care of yourself mentally, emotionally. We've had a number of guests on the show who they do an all plant-based diet. And I mean, some don't, some, mix it up, but a heavy emphasis on fruits and vegetables and like fish, like lean meats kind of thing, but like a real emphasis on fruits and vegetables. But I think it's also important to focus on the mental health. We're talking about daily health, but also the mental health component for cancer patients and survivors as well, because cancer is a lot mentally. I know for me in the last year, my cancer came back and I wasn't expecting it. And so, something that I do is I take walks often. I love to be out in nature, and it's just so peaceful. And it just, sometimes you need that in your cancer journey. Another thing I do is I see a therapist, and something that helps me with is have conversations with people in my life about, because sometimes it's hard to understand each other's perspectives, and I also love to play the piano. That's good for my mental health. It's kind of like it lets out your, kind of like letting out your feelings through your fingers, just kind of is
Right.
like a release, and it's just fun too. So yeah, and if anybody wants to check out any of the Perspectives on Cancer episodes, they could just go to perspectivesoncancer.com. There's been a lot of invaluable information when it comes to health over there.
Well, and you, by the way, are a masterful piano player. I love listening to your Sunday morning broadcasts, and some of the good old hymns and things you're playing there. So love that. And I think that it is, Baron, important our mental perspective and mindset on life when we're going through things, because that is as big of a self-care issue and a health issue as the things you're putting in your body. Because if your mind, but I tell you move the direction, as Craig Groeschel says, you move the direction of your strongest thoughts. And if you're thinking negatively and you're really down, it can really depress your health, right? So take that away, Baron.
Well, I think that you said really well, and I'm just going to encourage the listeners. You can go to kslm.news next Saturday, the 23rd of March. We had to pre-record, but Russ and Tim are going to be guests on the radio show. It doesn't matter whether you're in Pennsylvania or wherever. Just adjust for the time zone. It's at 9:00 in the morning. But Russ, you made an interesting statement about when your cancer was happening. And it was something the doctor said to you, that your state of mind, how positive you are as a person, that you did not allow that cancer diagnosis to affect who you are. And that attitude alone was going to be a bigger benefit for you, given the treatment you were going through. I remember meeting a gentleman that very first year, 5 years ago, and his father had been diagnosed with stomach cancer. And his dad did not allow the family to know, so a lot of time had gone by himself, and he sat in his house alone and ultimately died in about a week. You need the connection. You need people to be there with you, and you need that positive attitude. And, again, I wasn't in that guy's shoes, so I'm not trying to place any judgment on him, but it would be really easy to get this horrific diagnosis and then not want to talk about it. But in his case, not doing anything was detrimental. In your case, Russ, you've kept that amazing attitude that you have. You've continued to connect people like Tim on the East Coast with Dani and Corvallis. That connection is creating an environment where cancer just wants to go away. And I appreciate what you do every day, Russ.
Yeah, well, I think you're right. I mean, I think as we band together and we connect each other, it makes life, it helps us because we're able to go through this journey with others. And, the number one thing people need to realize, isolating yourself could be the worst thing you could do. We were created for connection. We were created for community. And you need that support from people. And when you isolate yourself, that's where your mind starts just messing with you and things happen. And, Dani, I know that since you've been through this process, it's a lot on even a family, just your immediate family, and you need your community and your larger family around you to come around and help as well, right?
Oh, absolutely. I would never have made it if I didn't have the support system that I had when my husband was going through cancer. It was a 4.5 year battle at the time. And at one point, I had to leave my job at the university to stay home with James for the last year of his life, and be his sole caregiver. And if you've never done that before, you don't know how taxing that is physically, emotionally, spiritually. It was one of the hardest things that I've ever gone through, and I would not have made it without the connection that I had from my church family and friends and family who came around us and walked us through that journey.
Yeah. I mean, to me, that's one of the things that it wasn't just my church family, but really the online LinkedIn family was a big part of that, along with my friends here in the local area that I was really involved with networking as well. I kind of had all these little communities that I was part of, and it was just an amazing thing. And Tim, I know that you were a big part of that for me. One of the biggest blessings was coming to the Perspectives on Cancer last year, where by the way they had pretty healthy food for the most part, and but I got to come back to good old Scranton, Pennsylvania, and barely made it back there. Was having a few health things going on, but I made it, and God blessed me with an awesome weekend meeting Tim and others in person, because we already were great friends, but we'd never actually been hashtag IRL in real life, hanging out 3D together. So, but Tim, talk about that a little bit more. As you've been building this Perspectives on Cancer community. It's a big deal.
Thanks, Russ. I think there's something powerful when we come together and share our stories, because our stories really connect us. And while all of our journeys are different, whether you're a cancer patient or a survivor or a supporter, we can all learn from each other. We can try to understand each other's perspectives, even though we may never entirely understand the other perspective. We can do our best to understand each other by communicating, and we'll relate to certain parts of each other's stories. And so I think that storytelling is such a crucial component to creating community, especially in the cancer space, because we all have stories, and I encourage you, share it when you're ready to do it. You may not be ready right now, But at some point, you might be ready. And when you do share your story, you're going to receive so much love and support from other people like Russ and Dani and Baron and everybody else who's in Russ's community and my community. And um, that just it feels so good because oftentimes in a cancer journey, it's so hard. There's hard parts, there's okay parts, there's the whole spectrum. So I would just say, um, try to surround yourself with people who are going to be supportive of you and showing up. But is the most important part.
It took you a long time to show up in the sense of telling your story. And I think it was very freeing for you and amazing the kind of, yeah, hi, Andrea. The another amazing friend there. Um, but it was kind of freeing for you and it helped propel you to what you're doing because you started to see the greater good for community. And it's not really all about us, right? And the fact that we're here to support and love and give and bless each other. And by doing that and sharing, then the people that are afraid to do that, Dani, they come out of the woodwork and they start saying, hey, if other people can share this and if other people can help me with the way I eat and the information I need, I'm sure, Dani, you've had a lot of those people that know your situation with your husband and all that. And then they're thinking, wow, she's handling this so well. I need to go to her.
Yeah, I hope that's always the case. I know that because of what I've walked through with my husband, I have a heart for people that are affected by cancer. And just like Tim has been talking about, I want to be able to come alongside them and not only, support them with, again, like we said, simple tools to fuel the body, but also to encourage them, to pray with them, to just be with them, and to walk through that process. And whether it's the person who has cancer or whether it's the family and the caregivers, because just as has been mentioned, they also suffer. and
Yeah.
and also, there is a statistic that says that oftentimes caregivers will actually die before the person that they're caring for, because it is extremely taxing physically, emotionally, every way.
I think something you hit on there is so critical for people to know. I mean, it's so hard on the ones that love you and even on your friends sometimes. I mean, it really hits people hard sometimes with what we're going through. I think a lot of times that I have had it easier going through it than the people around me. And I've experienced some things in my life that I know for sure. I mean, my immediate family had to, my beautiful wife and my daughter, especially who lives in the same town as us, had to do things like care for my foot that was disgusting after my, cancer surgery was originally it was removed because they had to rebuild half my foot. And then, taking care of it's a lot of work and they're not nurses, right? And so it's really hard on people and then always being on to help and bring things and all that when you're basically disabled and not able to go anywhere and do stuff. And so I definitely see how that I've heard that statistic about caregivers a lot of times passing away before the people they're caring for do, and it's a sad fact, but it just goes to show how it is important it is to get care for the caregivers too, right?
Absolutely.
And yeah. So Tim, I know that you have a wonderful family. Oh my goodness. Your wife is one of the most giving, nice people ever who picked me up from the airport last year when I flew in with your daughters. Oh my goodness. What a sweet family. But I know you've encountered no matter what the level of symptoms or whatever with you, I know they come around you and support you through everything, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Joy is so supportive, through my journey and also helping out with perspectives on cancer things. Like edited both books. She's come to the in-person events and supported me and everybody, which is really great, because I think sometimes it can be challenging for caregivers or family members who maybe they've had other family members who have passed, or other situations. So it could be triggering for family members to be in that situation also. But I totally agree. Caregivers, shout out to all the caregivers out there, including Joy, because they work so hard to keep us going.
They do. And this whole time I thought you were doing all the editing, and now I know it's trying to wonder it was so thorough.
Well, I do also.
Oh,
and also
yes.
Andrea, who's here, she also edits.
Yes.
So
Andrea does. She's amazing. We could talk about Andrea all day long too. She was
Let's
so.
do that. No, I'm just kidding.
There you go. She was so supportive of you, and the whole perspectives on cancer thing too, Baron. So through this last several years, through the kicking cancer growth and all the things that you're doing, what is a lesson as far as caring for yourself, and as far as we've talked about your health, whether it's mental or physical. What's a real lesson that you've taken away, that you've learned through all that? I mean, you're interacting with people constantly.
Yeah, I actually came across a very interesting diagram some time back, and I think the picture itself kind of summarizes what we're all talking about. There's two places in the world, two forests in the world, where it's really difficult to get those trees down. Now, the one that most of us know around here is Northern California, and the reality is they have really deep roots, and it's really hard to blow down those redwoods because the roots are really, really deep. But the other one is in Brazil, and I find the rainforest really intriguing, Russ, because the trees are pretty close together. But what happens is the roots do this. Okay, the roots begin to weave themselves together, and the reason it's so hard to get the rainforest down is because one tree is like 10 trees. And when I started kicking cancer, it was one person, it was my sister. And then, then I meet Dani, and I knew Dani from years ago, and then I heard about what happened with her husband James, and James and I actually worked together years ago. And then what happened over those years, Russ, is all of these people that I met, they began to weave together like this, and that community, those stories that exist on our website, those inspirational stories create the connection so that you don't have to feel alone anymore. And if you're sitting there in Scranton, Pennsylvania, dealing with blood cancer, you can just go to the website and type in blood and cancer, and all of a sudden here's another person that went through the same stuff that you went through. Or you're like, well, how do I find some resources to deal with this? And then Dani pops up. And so we have created, just like the Amazon forest, we've got these roots woven together like this to make it harder and harder to knock us down. And
Right.
we need that massive connection to fight through this cancer world, Russ.
Yeah. And I think that's so true. And it's interesting from an actual practical perspective on your analogy. I lived through the practicalness of the trees weaving together and protecting each other, because not only do they weave together, but the trees on the windy side protect the other trees of the winds coming. They grow stronger and they hold off the wind from the other trees. I grew up out in acres and acres of woods. And after I got married and moved on, the neighbor to my parents where I grew up logged their property. And what do you think happened the next windstorm?
Yep.
I mean, like a third of my parents' trees all went over, including one on top of their house that had been there my whole life. So it's the protection, the community, the weaving together, all those things. It's so practical. And you keep people from falling. You keep people from, going into distress by being around them and supporting. And I think that comes back to the health. Comes back to the health. And we're going to do our last round here, Dani, and we're going to start with you. I want you to kind of wrap things up with your golden nugget of today, what you want people to really remember, and then how they get, let us know how they get in touch with you. But I just think this whole concept of, banding together and helping each other when it comes to physical health, mental health, whatever it might be, is so important. So, Dani, take it away.
Okay. Well, so my golden nugget really is kind of what we've been talking about, what I do and what we do at the company that I represent is that we walk alongside you. Not only do we give you those simple tools so that you can daily be putting the good things in your body, but then we also come alongside with the things that we've been talking about your mental health and how to de-stress, and we come alongside with sleep and the importance of sleep. And we have, what's great is that we have access to hundreds and even thousands of doctors and medical professionals that have all of this information. And so I'm able to find out what you need, and even connect you to the resources that are going to be most pertinent to you. And that's how we operate, and that's what we want to do, is because we're in this together and we can't do it alone. And most of us need to just make one simple change at a time, but we need to make that one simple change alongside other people that are making simple changes as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And give everybody a quick, how do they get in touch with you?
Absolutely. You can get me by email. It's Dani, Dani .Warren, WARREN 615 at gmail.com. You can also go to my website, which is just DaniWarren.juiceplus.com. And I'm happy to answer any questions that you have, and just see how I can serve you in helping you get healthier.
Awesome. Awesome. And as you spoke, part of that information appeared below you. It's all clickable, everybody, in the comments and in the show notes. So you can go directly to these amazing people. And I highly recommend you do that. And Baron, we're going to send you up next. Are you ready? Here we go. Baron's golden nugget.
Well, I'm just going to piggyback something that Dani said. We have a phrase that I've used several times on our radio show, along with events, and I think you heard this, Russ, that we do an annual honoring evening. But here's the reality. You need to take some of the things that Dani's teaching you, utilize our website to look for resources. Then you have to save yourself. And then what we say is save yourself, then each one teach one. Save yourself, then each one teach one. And if we can do that as a group, and for me, it was unfortunate I had to use the word real in front of food, but we have a lot of food-like substances in grocery stores now. They're not even food. You can't even read the ingredients. There's so many chemicals in there, I can't pronounce them. But eat real food, go get some movement, save yourself, then each one teach one, and that's how we conquer this thing, Russ.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. It does, when it comes to things like this, it does take a village. It does take a community coming together. And Baron, I just think that's so great. How do people get in touch with you again, Baron?
Our website is kicking-cancer.org. And the email that's in the bottom there, it's actually now changed, Russ. It's executive director. It's EXECDIR at kicking-cancer.org.
All right, we'll make sure and get that in there. Repeat that one more time, Baron.
EXECDIR, so it's executive director abbreviated, at kicking-cancer.org. Reach out to me. The very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to connect you with Dani. very first thing I'm going to do is connect you with Dani, because I am not an expert on this and she is.
There
But
you
you
go.
got to get real food back in your body, guys.
Yep. No, I agree. Totally. All right, Tim, you're up last.
Thank you, Russ. Thanks for having me. My golden nugget would be, even in a cancer journey, it's important to find joy. And this can be connected to your mental health. So some things that I like to do are, there's some animals that I like. And Russ has one, I believe, that I'm a fan of, although I don't have it right here. Do you have it, Russ?
I do. I'm going to have to move things to get it, but yes, I do. Are you ready? Here we go.
We're ready.
My screaming goat came in the mail from Mr. Tim Sohn to me. What an amazing friend.
Yes, and I also have some other friends here. This is Chris the rubber chicken. And I also have Peter the pickle here.
There you go.
So even when times are tough, try to find joy, even if it's a squeaky pickle.
And I don't know if you were having troubles finding joy when you were younger, but you found joy and you got married. So there you go. And all was good. So I tell you, I appreciate you both so much. And you are all amazing, amazing friends. And thank you so much for coming on today, adding so much value to everybody, because I'm telling you, we're learning every day, right? We are lifelong learners. And if we approach this life, even through the struggle of learning and growing, it's really not all that bad. In fact, it's pretty darn amazing, the friends that come around us, even through the rough times. So thank you all. I'm going to say goodbye to you and wrap things up, but hang tight for just a moment in the green room and I'll be right there. Okay. Thanks, everybody.
Thank
See ya.
you.
Everybody wave goodbye. Woohoo. Oh, man. I tell you, wow. I am truly blessed with some of the most amazing people as friends. And so I just want to let you all know that every week I have on amazing people on different topics that bless me so much. And I know they're a blessing to you. So I encourage you to join in, engage. You still have time to let us know you're here. You still have time to say hi and to engage with others in the comments, because I'm telling you, this is a great place to connect with like-minded people, and there's some great, amazing people in the comments right now. So say hi to them and make sure that you come back next Thursday, because we are here every Thursday, just like I said at the very beginning, 4 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time for your listening and viewing pleasure. And it does sit on the platform after we broadcast for infinity and beyond. That's right. Infinity and beyond. It'll be here so you can watch it forever. Plus, you can listen on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, whatever your favorite podcast platform is. So thankful for that. And please don't forget, please join our YouTube community, because you know what? When we come together, we're able to do so much more. And so I would love it if you would please join the YouTube community. And the way you do that is just go to russreels.live. It's easy, russreels.live. And don't forget one more time to connect with me at russhedge.com. Boy, I tell you, if you can't remember those, it's pretty simple. Love for you to do that. And until we see you again, which will be next week, same bat time, same bat channel on Russ Reels Live. Have an amazing week. See you, everybody. Thanks for being here.